Hi, I completely forgot to put in an actual, verbal trigger warning, so here it is. This video contains mentions of anti-Semitism, pedophilia, queerphobia in various different varieties, and ableism specifically directed towards autistic people, and artistic depictions of gore. If you happen to be sensitive to any of those subjects, I will not blame you for skipping out on this one. It gets a little weird. And by a little, I mean a metric butt-ton. Strap in. See this, postcard-looking art piece right here? Yeah, it looks fine, right? It's not the worst, it's not the best. What if I were to tell you that this was made by none other than Adolf Hitler? That's one way to start a video, I guess. Now, as my therapist would say, how does that make you feel? Are you disgusted with the previous piece? Are you unbothered by the information? Are you like a mix of these things? Or a secret fourth thing? I've always had a morbid curiosity for this kind of stuff. Though maybe that's just the autism making an appearance. Tism or no tism, I've always had a curiosity about how the actions of the artist reflect on the art and how that reflection affects how people see that art. And which came first? It's like the chicken and the egg. Which came first, the artist or their art? To give the other side of the first example, these are two pieces done by two very prominent artists, and you can probably tell who they are just by looking at it. And there's no way that these two pillars of artistic genius are problematic.
Right?
Salvador Dali wouldn't openly condemn fascism and was gay for Hitler.
Wrong!
Wow, that circled around quicker than I expected.
Everything's come full circle, baby!
That's not me extrapolating either. I've read quotes. Look at this. He's gay for Hitler. I'm not sure if this is common knowledge or not, but Pablo Picasso has a famous quote about burning the women that he leaves to destroy the past that she represents. And if that's not just, blatant misogyny, I don't know what is. What the fuck do you want? No, I'm not helping you! There's gonna be some jackass in the comments that's gonna be like, well, this was a product of their time. I would say that those comments would be reserved for Salvador Dali and Pablo Picasso, but this is the internet. Why would I expect bare minimum human decency on the internet? Listen here, you listen to me. We can criticize old dead assholes from the past. And we can criticize live shitty artists right now. Finally, I can get to the point of the video! Today, I want to talk about Lady Fitzy. And specifically, her art. And how unhinged it is. We're just gonna look at and draw parallels between her and her art and the way that she depicts a certain purple guy. Starting off in the background, I'm actually redrawing a piece that she did that I saw somebody say we should redraw on Twitter, so shout out to them. I cannot remember their @ right now. Shit. I should probably introduce myself. I'm Duplex. I go by they, he pronouns. And this is just an excuse to info dump on you the random stuff that I noticed about her art as I was looking through it. I just kinda wanted to see how bad it could get, and honestly, it gets pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't want to spend all day talking about what she's done, but for context for anybody who doesn't know who Lady Fitzy is, this is why people have a general problem with her. She is listed online that some of her fetishes include, but are not limited to, lollygon, shotagon, child gore, not to mention a ton. I have been informed that if you didn't grow up, chronically online for the past decade or so, that you probably don't know what the hell these terms mean. Lollygon means an attraction to little girls, shotagon means an attraction to little boys. Somebody's probably gonna be like, well, is strictly for fictional little girls. And it's like, go ahead and keep splitting hairs. It's not gonna make me think that you're any less creepy. Now back to your regularly scheduled dumpster fire. Until I interrupt myself again for being a dingus. Child gore. Not to mention a ton of just generally queerphobic stuff. Stating that a transphobic term...
Dick.
usually directed towards trans femmes was one of her fetishes, was MB-phobic, was intersexist. She made fan art glorifying Nazism? What? And she's an ableist on top of all of that. She uses the R slur specifically for autistic people.
This is why I don't believe in God.
I am most definitely forgetting another awful action, but I feel like that gives you enough context as to why this person is universally hated. I find it interesting that she's decided to be shitty specifically against these two groups of people, because, like, does she not know what fandom she's in? Like, hun, do you not know the fandom you're messing with? Like, we're really, really gay.
Gender is a performance, and I plan on getting booed off the stage.
For autistic people, it's like, you combined horror, mascot characters, and robots. There's no way we weren't gonna show up.
Like, what are you doing? What are you doing here?
This fandom has gotten upset at Scott for donating to people who akin homosexuality to bestiality. So if you think this shit is going to fly...
Honey, you've got a big storm coming.
So as a trans autistic person, I feel like you can kind of already tell how I feel about this jackass, right? Whenever I look at some of these pieces and my brain is like, ah yes, this is aesthetically pleasing, the rest of me is kind of like, but why does it have to be, though? Like, I know I can't control what I find aesthetically pleasing, you know? But, like, God, I wish I could, because why do I like this so much? Ah! I know that liking these things doesn't necessarily reflect on my own morality, but god damn it, I can't stop thinking about it, so... Now you may be thinking, Duplex, what do these pieces even remotely have to do with her fetish? Well, the answer is nothing. Ah shit, I guess I have nothing to talk about. Alright, wrap it up, video's over, let's go home. But previous pieces definitely do. And listen, I wouldn't be dragging up somebody's previous fetish content. Number one, if this fetish content wasn't directly linked with, you know, the franchise she'd get a job in later. And number two, if it wasn't a fetish involving children. Because I've already told you what this person is into, you probably have alarm bells going off right now, like, I'm going to show the uncensored version because she still has the uncensored version on her DeviantArt, so if you don't want to see the gore, skip to this timestamp. I think the first thing that really caught me off guard, number one, is that she inserted strangulation as a method of killing, and she inserted axe murdering. Wait, this was in 2015. When did The Living Tombstone upload that song for the third FNAF game? According to this, it came out of April of 2015, so she absolutely was listening to that bitch. I'm happy your bitch ass got fired! God, I hope I don't get a copyright strike because of this. So that didn't come out of nowhere, that came from somewhere, but still the strangulation is definitely new. Mind you, Fitzy had posted this character in 2018. The year after she was hired? So, like, she had not abandoned this concept at the time she got hired. So, you know, you may be thinking, oh, this is as bad as it gets, right? No, it's not. We haven't even talked about the fanfic yet. As I was searching around doing research for these videos, I came across, you know, the upgraded version of this piece. And it went from kind of gently holding the dead body of this girl to straight up showing... Oh, wow! Can I show this on YouTube? I don't think I can. Yeah, no, I'm not showing that. This was available on, like, the first page of Google, though, so...
You okay, man?
Oh, heavens no. Absolutely not.
If I had a nickel for every time I saw this girl in yellow get strangled to death, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's fuck that it happened twice, right? Also, like, what is up with this dude's face? What? Hey, Fitzy, why did you draw this girl being strangled to death twice? Oh, I don't ask for any particular reason. You're staying all day today for the recording, right? Alright, cool. I just need to step outside to make a quick phone call. Target is in position. Oh, I wonder who that could be. This may be my limited viewpoint speaking, but this is a line that most FNAF artists don't cross. This isn't for a dislike of gory FNAF art, by the way. I adore gory FNAF art. Way more than I probably should. Now, some of you in the audience may be asking yourselves, well, how do I know that this is fetish content? And to that, I would say, do I have to bring up the screenshot again? Like, she literally has a fetish for little girls' helplessness, children in gory scenarios. Like, I don't know how you aren't adding 2 plus 2 together and getting 4 here.
Well, there's no evidence to prove that Lady Fitzy intended that.
First off, her attention is incredibly irrelevant. Who gives a shit of what she intended to do? But also, that's just not correct. I can tell it's not correct because there's quite literally a screenshot floating around on the internet between Lady Fitzy and Pink Pills, both talking about whether or not her William Afton, who's called, I can't remember the fucking name and I refuse to call him that, so, of them discussing whether or not William had a boner in this image or not. Spoiler alert, he does, apparently.
Do I call the police or a priest? A priest.
This implies that she's trying to import this concept into her fanfic. The fanfic I've been avoiding this entire time. This is apparently a fanfic that she wrote that contained things relating to her paraphilias. And, yeah. There's also allegations that she forced a minor to read this, and that said minor has raised grooming allegation against Lady Fitzy. So that's a thing. A thing that a lot of YouTubers that cover this topic don't talk about for some reason. King. It's almost like explaining what the groomer did in this situation would make you look like a bad guy for going after the fandom for being toxic. I wish I could put up screenshots of this person saying that they were groomed by Lady Fitzy, but unfortunately, number one, the Twitter thread that I was getting all of my information from, the account that it was linked to, got suspended for some reason. And number two, even when I went to go look at the account, I was unable to because the tweets were protected. The only reason I knew this tweet existed is because I saw it with my own eyes. That's literally it. I'm asking you to take my word for it, which I know blows. Now let me not understate how many things she has done for the FNAF franchise, right? Since 2017, she has done a plethora of work for this franchise. Let me pull up her Wikipedia page real quick. Hold up. She did art for Pizzeria Simulator. She did art for Ultimate Custom Night. She did all of the stills of Funtime Chica to distract the player. Oh, of course she did.
Say cheese!
She designed the Twisted animatronics from the Twisted ones. Oh, well, there is another reason why I never got into the book series. And she drew several teasers for them. Wait, is this where the weird bubbly Chica comes from? Wait, no way.
Well, just as I thought, Trash.
Through several bonus posters for the 4th closet. She had her art featured in the guidebook. I think arguably what she's most well known for is doing all of the Fazbear Fright novel covers, which is where, like, 2 of my examples came from earlier. She also did 3 of the Tales of the Pizzaplex covers, and unfortunately she ended up doing one of my favorite Pizzaplex covers too. And I hate it here.
I don't always hate it here, but when I do, it's because of stuff like this.
So, like, what's my point, right? Why did I bring up Pablo Picasso, Salvador Dali, and him at the beginning? And why did I spend all that time talking about Lady Fitzy's track record, go through her stuff, all of this? Why did I make this video? You know how I said in the beginning that you either learn about the artist or their art first? Lady Fitzy was both for me. I knew about her art and I knew her name loosely, but I didn't really know any of the stuff behind her until, like, I want to say like a year or 2 ago. As to why I brought up the famous men at the beginning, number 1, I think they illustrate what I mean pretty well, and number 2, audience retention, baby! I mean, did you know that Hitler made such mid-art? No? Well, neither did I until starting to research this video. I just knew he was an artist before becoming that. It's been like 4 months since Lady Fitzy has been fired, and I think that it's pretty safe to say that she's not coming back to the fandom, nor is she ever going to be able to get a job under the Lady Fitzy name ever again. Thanks, Scott, for small victories, I guess. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that most people would agree that this is a net positive for everyone. Having one less creep in the fandom that can use their position of power to, you know, groom children, allegedly, is a pretty nice thing, you know? The craziest thing about all of this, I think, is the fact that if she didn't beg to get a job from Scott by spamming him with emails, we probably wouldn't be having this conversation right now. I'm not trying to shit on anybody who has drawing skills equivalent to Lady Fitzy, but let's just say there are definitely more consistent artists out there. Not to mention, just her line art is chicken scratch, her anatomy is all over the place, not to mention, I mean, look no further than the art I'm literally redrawing. Why does Vanessa have titty pockets? Why does Vanessa have titty pockets? The only thing consistent about her art style is the humans. And it's only because they're consistently awful. They range from to ugh. And that is it. To be honest with you, the main reason why I wanted to make this video is because I've never seen such a clear window into somebody's paraphilia before. Like, don't get me wrong, I've been on the internet for a while, and I've seen some shit, but I don't ever think that I've seen a situation where somebody with such an intense paraphilia projected that onto a child murderer in a fictional indie game series. And the most wild sentence I've said this week goes to... The most interesting part about her depictions of William Afton is how much she seems to project onto him. Like, I showed you this dude's face earlier. Does it look like he's not getting off on this? I'm sorry, I had to choke back a little bit of vomit. It's fine, I'm fine. Her connection to William Afton is so strong that when I first looked at these pieces, my first initial thought was, it almost feels like William Afton drew these. Like, the glorification of the action, the pride in William's face, the helplessness when it comes to the children, all of this is setting off so many alarms. If this red flag were any bigger, that bitch would be a blanket. Like, what? She seems to be entirely delusional about her own actions, at least in the apologies that I've seen from her. Like, insulting the kid who's accusing you of grooming is not the move. Not to mention, in another apology, she stated that she was a cis woman multiple times, and it kinda makes me think that she stated that because she was feeding on the stereotype that trans women are inherently predatory, and you can go fuck yourself for that.
I will beat you to death.
Even though Lady Fitzy's art quality is very inconsistent, it doesn't mean that she hasn't made really good pieces in the past. And just like Salvador Dali or Pablo Picasso, you can make good pieces while not being that good of a person. Not Hitler, though. Hitler only makes garbage. So, after 11 hours, the piece that I redrew is done. I definitely think that it is an upgrade from the original, because, I mean, look at the original. What is going on with all of this? Titty pockets. You alright? You alright, titty pockets? How did she get the tits right on Vanny, but not on Vanessa? That doesn't make any sense. Hey, Freddy? Hey, Freddy, you okay there? You doing good there, bud?
Freddy, I know you think it's the good stuff, but we don't need it, Freddy. We're okay.
Is that supposed to be Gregory? It just kind of looks like a random kid.
Gregory, I am high.
You might also notice that I changed the designs of nearly every character just because I wanted to redesign them, so I did. I gave Vanessa, like, buttons and a vest and glasses and stuff. And, before you ask, no, I did not base this off of the manager from the FNAF movie trailer. That is a happy coincidence because I made this before that came out. I also gave Vanny more patchwork and this bow that's like the bunny ears that Vanessa is wearing as a hair tie. Freddy just got more spikes and piercings because I felt like he just would look better with more spikes and piercings. I don't know how to explain it. Gregory basically didn't change. He just got the crying child shirt for reasons. And then, like, the two background elements I ended up changing into more themed versions of themselves because I just felt like that would be way more appropriate and way cooler. So if you like this video, do all the things that all the other YouTubers tell you to do and stuff. This video almost didn't get made, but that's mainly because I had to change the video topic multiple times. This topic kind of hits a bit closer to home than I'd like to admit, and thus I had to redo the video multiple times. Anyway, again, thank you for watching. My name is Duplex. You have been held hostage by me, and goodbye! Holy shit, I never want to make a 24-minute long video ever again. But I will, because I'm a little dumbass.